This video has been brought to you by Computer Solutions R Us. Phil and his team hooked me up with a great computer, and I know they can do the same for you. Whether you need a computer repair, brand new computer, whatever you need, all your answers are over there. Go check out the link in the description box below and tell them Drew at Artistic Gamer sent you. Alright, so today we're talking about Moonlighter. Now typically this is not my style of game, and I find myself saying that a lot lately. A lot of these games that are coming out are just not something I would typically play in the past. Moonlighter is this unique pixelated art style that doesn't typically appeal to me whatsoever. Pixelated to me reminds me of the old Nintendo days, and with today's technology and graphics, everything is so advanced and so realistic that I tend to stay away from a pixelated art style. The difference being is how they've mastered the pixelated art in this game of Moonlighter. It is phenomenal. It's not your typical just chunky characters walking around. They're chunky, but there's depth in the art itself. There's movement in the trees. There's movement in the character. There's life with this pixelated art. It was fantastic, and to be honest, that is what drew me in. Coming from a guy who is a realistic artist himself, who tends to typically draw or get focused on games with high detail, to go to a pixelated, just breathtaking game that I just didn't anticipate was fantastic. So the art automatically just kind of overpowered my taking, and I loved the direction of the game. Now your typical top-down view, sort of side-scrolling, I don't even know how you would explain this. It's not really a side-scroller because you're top-down, but you're scrolling. It is awesome. I was so shocked by how much I really enjoy playing this particular game. Moonlighter was a complete surprise to me. It was fantastic. So what happened is you are a shopkeeper. You are up to live the hype of the legend, your father who used to run the shop. Now the idea behind the shop is that you have to go out to the dungeons to get the materials, to sell to the shop, and you more or less rinse and repeat. The cool aspect about this, like it sounds kind of, oh, I go out, I hit a dungeon, I grab a couple things, some loot, bring it back, sell it to the customers and do it all over again? Really, that's what I'm doing in this game? Absolutely. But the coolest part is how it goes about and how you do it. You go out, you do your smashing, you're killing, you're taking over these creatures, getting the loot, bringing it back to the shop, you're selling it, you are setting the price. And the cool part is that the customers, it's up to them whether or not they like your pricing. If they don't like your pricing, you're gonna get a sad face and they're gonna turn you down on that particular item. Or you can see how much that item is, like if you have a broken sword or you have an orb or something like that, you can see how much demand there is for that item. If there's more demand, you can sell it at a higher price. If there's less demand, you sell it at a lower price. And the idea is to please these people. So that is the beginning. That is only the beginning of the game. From there, you want to build your town. You build the town up by going out, getting the loot, selling your stuff, and then build your town, which then brings in new shops, which you buy gear from, which will help you proceed further within the dungeon. Dungeon level 1, 2, and so on until you get to the boss to open up another dungeon. The only way to do so is to get better material. The cool part is when you get the material is, do you sell that material? Or do you hold that material in your chest until you have enough of that material plus enough money to buy that next sword, the next bow and arrow, the next shiny piece of armor that will help you proceed further within the next dungeon. This has such a loop to it, it caught me by complete surprise. I go out, I get my gear, I get some loot, I bring it back, I realize, okay, if I want this sword, I'm gonna need this stick, I'm gonna need this orb, I'm gonna need this item and that item, but yet these items are selling really, really hot right now. So do I sell those? Because the only way out of the dungeon is to get 300 coins from this special thing you have, this little sack, and then it pops you out of the dungeon and brings you back over to your shop. It is such a cool concept. It's a simple concept in a sense, but it is so deep. There are so many items to go for, so much loot you want to get, and every dungeon is something different. It's never the same. You have the same enemy types, but the further you get, the more reward you will gain, the bigger and different enemies you will see in an encounter. It is an addictive grind loop that I just completely was blown away with. Moonlighter is absolutely fantastic. I fell in love with this game, and I just didn't see it coming. I keep saying that because I was so surprised at how well this is been crafted. The idea of going out and grinding, there's a lot of grinding games. Let's face it, right? Like a lot of us right now, we're playing those games like Ark, or like Conan that's out, or even State of Decay 2 that just launched. I am playing the crap out of that game. The idea to go out, gather resources, and bring it back to home base is pretty common right now. How you make it different is you play Moonlighter. You go out, grab those items, and then you need to sell them, but you can't always sell that particular item. And it's wanting to go deeper within the dungeons that gives you that drive of, okay, keep this one back, make sure I sell enough items at the shop to boost my shop, make my customers happy, but yet give me enough money that I can go buy that item with these craftable items. It is just fantastic. I love Moonlighter. This is probably one of the highlights of the year for me. I was completely blown away. I'm giving Moonlighter a 9.5. I absolutely love it. This game is fantastic. Do not sleep on this game. If you like that grinding, dungeon crawling, loop reward system, it is amazing. This is right up your alley, and don't miss it. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's a huge help to me and the channel. And of course, you can follow me over on Mixer and Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. Until next time, I'll see you later.